PT Pop here. All four lobes of my brain securely bound behind my back. And tonight I'm going to talk about a call center job that I just accepted. Stay tuned. Yes, I have to admit it. I got desperate. I haven't worked. Of the 6 years, almost 6 years I've been back in Cleveland, I have worked maybe a year and a half of that time for other companies. That's other than my employment through my own business, through photography and music. I mean, I work. Hey, I almost hit a deer. What do you know? But I'm having some real I'm wrestling with this. I'm really wrestling with it emotionally because, number one, it's not a corporate call center. It's not one of the big giant ones. It's a real tiny call center. With myself included, it's 7 people. It's not. They don't have metrics. They don't have talk time and things like that. So it's going to be a lot different than the big call centers. And it also is in an industry that I have a great deal of interest in, which is design. It's a graphic design company that makes signs. But for some reason, ever since I accepted this offer, I feel like I'm walking the green mile. I feel like I'm being walked to the gallows. And I can't tell you why. Some of you have been watching me for a couple of years now, and you hear me voice my concerns about not being able to find work, especially since moving back to Cleveland, not being able to find anything but other than call center work. Now I finally find a job in an industry I'm interested in, and I'm concerned about it, And it's true. I mean, I do. I feel like I'm walking to the gallows. I mean, the reason I took this job was, number one, it's in an industry that I have an interest and a talent in, and I'll be working with Photoshop. And Photoshop is something that I know inside and out. So I know it very well, and I know how to use it. It pays a decent wage, and it has full benefits after 90 days, and you're fully vested. 50 cents on the dollar, you're fully vested up to 5% in your 401k from the day they allow you to take 401k. And that's a pretty good deal, because most places you're not fully vested until you're there like 2 or 3 years or something like that. Man, a lot of traffic tonight. This is crazy. And so it's a good industry, or it's at least an industry I'm comfortable with and interested in. It pays a good rate of pay with fairly decent benefits. And the hours are Monday through Friday, 11 to 7. Of course, they bring me in the late shift to close things out. Another good thing is I'll actually have my own cubicle, which I haven't had my own cubicle, like a real adult cubicle with walls that are like 6 feet high and a desk with drawers. I haven't had that since 2001. Swear to God, I haven't had this since 2001. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. The drawbacks are it's in a bad part of town. It's in a really bad part of town that at one time was a nice part of town, and some unkind people have moved into the neighborhood and turned it into a ghetto. So it's basically a ghetto. So I'm stressed about that. I don't really want to drive in the ghetto to go to work. I don't really want to work in a call center. But there's opportunities there for advancement, or to move into something more creative, like working in the graphic design department, or working in the photography and videography and social media departments. But like right now, the guy that does all the social media is like 25 years old. He's a young buck. He's not going anywhere unless he gets some big gig doing photography somewhere else, which is highly unlikely. Most people just don't. So I'm struggling because I got to make a living. I'm not making much money at this the YouTube's thing. Or I make the most money I make is with my music. My music, I make a fairly decent living at that during the summer. I just can't seem to find any gigs after November. After November, everything dries up, then they start back up again in like May. So from May through November, for about 6 months, I make a pretty good living at it. It's nothing I could support my wife and I on, but it's at least something. So another reason I took the job was because I got sick of working part-time and being an artist. I was working full-time, more than full-time hours. I mean, that's all I do. I sit in front of a computer all day long and I market myself. I come up with videos for my stock photography and stock video sites like Pond5 and iStock and Getty and all that stuff. Then I market myself and I write books and I market the books and I make videos and promotional videos for the books and I spend all kinds of money marketing myself. And the problem is these days is that you're just buried under literally millions of other authors and photographers and designers that are on the net. So it's kind of it's futile. It's completely futile to sit and try to make a living at it. I've done okay. I haven't fallen flat on my face. I've sold a lot of pieces of work, but in order to really make a living at it, you have to consistently sell on a weekly and a monthly basis. You have to continually pull in income from this stuff. And how many people are going to go out and buy my video of an apple being sliced open? How many times is that going to sell in order for me to make a living? I'm just making that as an example. So anyway, I thought, hey, I've got to get some income. Another reason I took the job, aside from tired of working part-time as an artist, even though I'm putting in full-time hours, is that I needed to save more money for retirement. My wife's got some money saved, but I really don't have much. So I'm kind of putting myself behind the 8 ball. I've taken the last 12 years, not completely, but almost entirely off from the corporate world to follow my artistic thing. And that's fine. I'm very fortunate and very lucky to have gotten the chance to do that. And I feel very blessed to have the opportunity to, I say you can't go back. I tried to go back and try to rekindle the spirit of the artist in me, which I did. But I'm finding out that being an artist isn't exactly what I thought it was, as I've said in some other videos. So I had a romanticized idea of what it was going to be like. Like right now I'm headed to a drawing class, a figure drawing class. They call it life drawing or something like that, where we draw a model. We have a nude model and we draw her. It's usually a woman. And it's fine and everything, but it's kind of odd because you sit in this room with about 5 to 10 other people with a naked model in front of you and nobody talks to each other. We just sit and draw this person, and then once it's over after 2 hours, we just go home and nobody says anything to anybody. I mean, a few people kind of know each other, so they sit and chat throughout the evening. Like there's this one old guy in my class, he's probably 70 years old, and he sits there and he's constantly talking to the girl next to him. He's constantly in conversation with the chick next to him, and he's constantly like, hey, did you try this pencil? Did you try the 6B lead? Hey, do you see the 6B lead in my pants? And so he's constantly yammering, he's talking this, and you can tell the girl doesn't really want to talk to him. She's always kind of like, okay, thanks. Okay, thanks for that tip there, Grandpa. You can tell some people have no self-awareness or no awareness whatsoever whether people really want to talk to them or not. Hey, did you try the 6B pencil here? Why don't you try my charcoal pencil? He's not just being friendly. I don't believe it, not for a second. I go in there and try to keep to myself, and I talk to a few people, that's about it. So anyway, I basically took this job. I don't know when I start because they're doing the background check on me. And they've got to do my background check in 2 states. One's in Ohio The other's in Arizona. Everything should come back fine. I'm guessing I'll start after Christmas or after New Year's. I'm just guessing. I have no idea really. It's a job I can do, but it's kind of a bummer because it's a call center, and I know that nobody else will look at me for anything. And in the places that have considered me, I never hear from them again. I had a great interview with a company about doing video production for this light bulb company here in Cleveland. Not a word from them again. Nothing. And no reason given, no explanation. They never give an explanation. There's never any legitimate reason that they say, hey, sorry, we're not going to consider you. So anyway, I have decided to go back to work. And if the background check comes back clean as it should, I'm going to end up working in a little tiny call center. So we'll see what happens. Thanks to everybody who's watched my call center videos. Maybe I'll have a good story. Maybe I'll have a positive story to tell everybody. Maybe I can also use this for future videos and talk about my experience at this call center and see what it's like. I probably won't do that while I'm working there because there's a good chance somebody from work will see it, and then I'll get called out and I'll get fired, which will be a first. I've never been fired before. I've been laid off a couple times, but never been fired. It's just, I don't know. Who knows what this will turn out to be. But I'm going to sign off here. I'm heading up to this life drawing class, and providing I don't get myself in an accident here. All right. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. I'll let you know what happens. Bye.